It's really got to be drilled.
He's got him on his back.
When we talk about a low single leg,
Lightning fast.
In this video, we're going to take a look at Bogomoev's. It's like a single leg, but ends up double leg a lot. I've heard people call this like a straight double. It's kind of a variation on a single leg to a cutback, where the guy squares up hard in front of you, slide across, a lot like Steber used to do, just a little bit higher. So that's what we're going to take a look at. So in this first clip, we're going to notice that his initial motion, especially when you slow it down, looks a lot like a single leg. All right, so right here before he attacks, it really has the characteristics of a traditional kind of outside step. Single leg, takes that outside step and attacks kind of like a single leg, but his head is on their far hip, so that when the guy kind of squares up, he's able to hit a double leg right away and then adjust his knees to get in better finish position, right? So single leg, you typically want this knee down, this knee up once you get in, which is what happens, right? But then he just skips this knee in, steps up to get to more of a traditional double leg position, and then lifts for his finish. Fairly simple there. This is just a beautiful clip all around, from setup to attack to finish. And again, same ideas here. His initial motion looks like a single leg. I want to take a look at this setup real quick. So he's going to drop his left hand. Right, guy kind of starts to match it by dropping his own hand, and then he reaches up, like fake touch, fake tie up. Right here, we see he doesn't even like touch the guy. He just reaches it up, tries to get the guy's hand to come up, and anticipating that it does, gets right underneath him. And again, looks very similar to traditional single leg entry. Hits that outside knee, but we can see his shoulder is kind of inside the guy's hip, which would put his head on that far side. And then the guy's like, oh no, I feel like I'm giving up a huge angle advantage on this side. So as he squares up to defend, he just steps up, slides his head across, gets his knees and feet to his head side, and then comes up for his finish as the guy tries to chest wrap him. This one looks kind of wild, right? So similar idea. It's a really nice pull for his setup here, kind of a back step, gets this leg to come forward, and again, I mean, looks like fairly traditional outside step, knee drive, kind of single leg entry. And then we're going to see the guy start to square up. Probably helped him a little bit by pulling this hand back behind him. And as this foot swings around from the opponent, he gets to that side, and I have no idea how he recovers his balance here. That's wild. I mean, gets both feet back underneath him and up into a double leg. This one's very similar to that last clip. Kind of gets the guy moving into him. Again, looks like kind of that traditional single leg type entry. All right, outside steps. Attacks. Hand on this leg, shoulder kind of inside that hip, head on that opposite side. And then pivots its head up and out on that far side. Gets the guy's feet off the mat, steps up for his finish. It's really nice. Just look at this pull right here. Pull, attack single, changes double, Just really nice. And, you know, he's probably done it a million times. And just understands kind of where this guy is going to move to before the guy even does it. And then beats him over there for his finish. Here's one where you can see him kind of chase the single leg angle for a minute. And then when the guy squares up, shifts off to his double leg. So this is probably like a decent kind of progression drill in here. So again, kind of outside step, single leg entry, hits that leg, probably he feels his head probably closer to this guy's hip on this side, so he's going to continue to kind of stick with that angle, continue to pivot. Now he feels his head start to get over to this far hip and get covered a little bit. So he's going to go back the other direction, head shifts outside, and then just kind of picks the guy up, double leg finish. In this last clip here, we're going to take a look at how he kind of goes for this single to double leg finish and then goes back to his single leg finish options. Lots of really good adjustments in here, both defensive and offensive. So again, same kind of initial attack motion, straight single, shoulder kind of inside the hip, head on that opposite side, which is exactly what he's looking for his double leg finish. All right, so as he steps to pivot to that side, instead of the opponent trying to square over his head, which would likely give him his double leg option, he pivots off of it, kind of backwards. So that makes this a really far reach and puts his head on this side of the opponent's body. And as he starts to drive, opponent pulls his hand up, changes back to normal single leg weight shift, and then looks for more kind of traditional single leg type finishes, little dump motion here, and then actually kind of looking for what seemed to be like a Peterson there. Gets his leg back up, circles back in front, head goes outside, finishes kind of cracked down. But in that clip, you can see how these kind of things can go together and where he's looking for his head to be for each finish. So if his head's out this far side in general, looking for that double leg kind of finish. If the guy floats off of it backwards and his head ends up on this side, he's going to stick with his single leg finish.